Okay, here we go. Max Muncy joining us right now as the Nationals continue a series against these Dodgers, the defending world champs. Max, great to have you back on. Good to see you. Got a lot to cover.
All right, let's talk about weather since you're on the beautiful East Coast. Cam lives on the East Coast. He's a little softer. He lives down south. But you're Texas and LA for the most part of your life. Do you give any credence to the guys who have to like put on tons of layers, wrap up, and all they got is like just their face or just their eyes? Or are you a Vaseline guy? How do guys deal with it, and how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I was almost there last night having the hot, the ninja mask on and everything. It was cold last night. Um, the guys that play on the East Coast, they're true grinders in my opinion because you're talking about, possible rain delay almost every single day, and it's cold as all get out in the early part of the season, and then it's hot and humid in the middle part of the season. It's tough to play on the East Coast, and when you're out west for your entire career, those East Coast trips get real tough, and you see it happen real fast with guys that come over to us when you have that East Coast day game where you're waking up at what's essentially 5 o'clock in the morning LA time. You got to get to that day game, and then it's raining and it's cold and it's windy. It's just not stuff that we're used to dealing with, and so it makes it a little challenging. But it is baseball. You got to find a way to get through it. You can't. The other team has to play in the exact same conditions, so you can't really complain about it.
Hey, one more for you, Max. Are you surprised that some of the newer ballparks in the Midwest and on the East Coast didn't end up getting retractable roofs? I know there's not infinite money on the planet, but I mean, even for recruiting purposes, like Roki, for example, they asked Kodai Senga of the Mets, either why he didn't go there or why they didn't have a better chance. And he joked, but he was like, we need a roof. But I'm like, seriously, I mean, if money's close enough and you're coming from Japan where I think they all have domes, right? Or maybe retractable. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that they have controlled environment out there. I'm like, it's a tough selling point when you're in a lot of these places for a month or two. Winter gets later now, and it's freaking cold for the first month or two of the season.
Yeah, and like you said, the money issue is always going to be there. For me though, I don't understand why you wouldn't do it because that opens up so many more opportunities for you to do stuff, concerts, and you can host basketball games or boxing matches or UFC fights in the wintertime when it's really terrible weather. Well, it's not terrible inside, and so it opens up the opportunity of hosting so many more events, and that allows you to continue your revenue stream into the stadium. And um, that's the one thing I haven't understood is when you build a new stadium, you'd think you'd want to keep as many avenues as possible to, keep fans coming into the stadium at all times of the year. Um, but I'm also not a huge business person. I don't fully understand, the economics behind all of that. That's just me having a look on the outside.
Yep, I'm with you.
Can you talk about how special Teoscar Hernandez is? I don't think people really know how good. You know what I'm saying? You get to watch Teo on a daily basis. Can you just speak on how important he has been for that organization? Clearly, you watch what he did in the playoffs.
Yeah, he has very consistent at bats. He has a very simple idea of what he's trying to do in the batter's box, and that allows him to just do a ton of damage. His swing works for what he's trying to do, and he understands that. He understands exactly what he wants to do with every single ball that's thrown, and you see it go out there. He continuously drives balls to the right side of the field. He has, a lot of power that way, and that's what allows him when the mistakes are made to pull those balls and get the big homers that he does. And he just has consistent at bats night in and night out. And when you can have a guy like that in the middle of the order, it just lengthens the lineup so much. And he's driving in a ton of runs for us already. And at the end of the year, we know what his numbers are going to be. He's a consistent player that it's just another another guy that the other team has to worry about. And yeah, it just makes it tough.
So, Max, we spoke to you in Tokyo. We haven't spoke to you since you got back. What was that like as an experience? And I do want to get the Shohei factor of how beloved he is there, how he's on every billboard there. I was there a few months ago and I knew I was going to see him. I saw him much more than I thought in sneaky spots. Like you're in a store and there's something that's not even like all over the store, just like a little, lip balm here, a little pack of mints there. It was just everywhere, right? It was subtle at times. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. And did any of that obviously spill into this celebration that now has been created on the base paths?
I think you already know the answer to that one. Yeah, yes, it did. We have our hitters meetings every day, and we kind of go over a bunch of stuff. And Cole, the guy who puts together the PowerPoints for our hitters meetings, he kind of snuck in one of his commercials, and I think the brand was Decorte or Decorte. I don't know how you say it, but um, he's swinging the thing across his face and gives a little wink at the end, and so we all had a great laugh at that one, and so we just took it out onto the get that night is when he hit the walk off homer, so we just kind of carried it on, and that's usually how those types of celebrations start. It's just a little moment that everyone has a laugh at, and you just kind of make fun of it, and then you realize, hey, this is kind of a good thing to do, and you just roll with it, and so that's how those celebrations starts. But yeah, so as far as the Tokyo series, it was unbelievable. It was really cool, once in a lifetime trip for me. Especially when you're talking about going there with Sho and Yosh and Roki. It was just the seeing all of those guys everywhere the way that they were was it was wild. It was like traveling with the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or something. It was, you know, just crazy. The amount of people that were everywhere that we went. It was really, really cool. I had a lot of fun. Um, I was also ready to come home, but that's because we did the Korea trip last year, and it's just a lot to start your season to make a trip like that. But it was also I'm really glad that we got a chance to do it. It was really fun.
How was Roki received? Because Roki was just there like 3-4 months ago, and I get it. Yamamoto and Otani have done bigger things now because they've been in the big leagues for longer. But how was Roki received during that time?
Yeah, he received awesome. They love him, and he's going to be an unbelievable pitcher for us. And so, just to see him get that reception from his home country, it's always really cool. It's really special to be able to see that. And he obviously Show gets the biggest reception, but those two guys weren't far behind.
Good luck the rest of this series. Stay warm. We'll catch you in a few weeks, okay?
All right, sounds good, guys.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Max. Max Muncy.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。